Hello, I am Emily Lacey from the Office of Sponsored Projects, and today we will be talking about limited submission opportunities. So some sponsoring agencies will restrict the number of applications or proposals that an institution may submit for consideration. These are considered limited submission opportunities. At UT Dallas, the Office of Sponsored Projects, which is my office, is responsible for managing the screening process of potential submissions to determine which proposals will go forward to the sponsoring agency. It's important to note that these are institutional limits, not individual personnel limits. There are some funding opportunities that will limit the number of applications by particular personnel. These are not handled through OSP, but rather the individual should ensure that they have not agreed to be part of more than the allowable number of applications. So, how do you know if something is a limited submission? Quite simply, read the RFP, which is the request for proposals or solicitation or a broad agency announcement. There's many names it goes by, but you need to read the solicitation. It's generally going to be noted in the eligibility section, or you can do a search for the word limit, although that won't always give you the exact limited submissions, but it will help you reach it. As with any opportunity, it's important to read all the criteria to make sure that you as an individual are eligible, the university is eligible, and that there are no limits on either of those categories. Some opportunities will have limits as to not only the lead organization applications, but also subawards or personnel in general. So sometimes you will have a limit as to how many we as the university as a prime submitter, and sometimes you can have a limit as to how many in general we can be on. All of those are limited submissions. We do have a limited submission website. If you go to the main research page, you click on the researchers tab, and then on the left-hand menu, you would click grant process, research development, and then limited submissions. This page will detail the process and all the identified opportunities. The OR portal, located at oar.utdallas.edu, also contains all the identified limited submission opportunities. Once you get to the portal, click on the funding tab and then scroll down to the limited submissions. If you do come across an opportunity that's not listed on the website or the portal, please contact me, Emily Lacey, and I will add it and establish internal deadlines. So now that you know how to find limited submission opportunities, how do you apply for one? You'll need to submit a one-page letter of intent or an LOI describing the project, the team, and the fit of the program to the solicitation. The LOI is submitted via the OR portal that we discussed previously, and it has to be submitted by the internal deadline listed, which will generally be 4 to 8 weeks prior to the external deadline. The OR portal will automatically shut down at 11:59 p.m. on that internal deadline, so make sure you submit it prior to that. Once the internal deadline passes, if the number of applicants is less than the maximum number we're allowed to submit, all applicants will receive a notification that they are cleared for submission. If there are more than the number of applicants allowed, then an internal competition will be held. And this will be where the deans of all of the applicants rank all the submissions, not just the ones for their respective school, but all of the submissions. The rankings will be tallied and the top scored applicants will be selected up to the maximum number allowed. The others will be notified that they were not selected. So that pretty much sums up the limited submission process. If you have any questions or need to know how to submit a limited submission in more detail, please reach out to me. I am at emily.lacey@utdallas.edu.